Take you back now to Tel Aviv. What you're seeing here, this is a live shot. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken set to speak soon on the Israel-Hamas war. Now, you saw him speak earlier with Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu on that joint press briefing. This will be solo. Again, the Secretary of State stepping up again to address really the world at this point. We're going to hear from him soon. And when that does happen, National Report will bring that to you live.
Stay tuned for that, please. Meantime, Israel Defense Forces saying the terror group Hamas is no longer in control of parts of Gaza. We've learned this and heard from Secretary Blinken, 25 Americans now confirmed dead. Gaza neighborhoods now in ruins as Israel is said to be preparing for a possible ground invasion. For the very latest, let's turn now to Caroline Glick. She is the former Assistant Foreign Policy Advisor to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, former member of Israel's negotiating team with the PLO. Also with us, Shahar Azani, the former spokesperson for the Israeli Consulate in New York and veteran Israeli diplomat. Welcome to you both, and thank you very much for coming on. Caroline, again, as we've seen day 6 of this war now, can you talk to us about the resources given to civilians at this point in Israel? Do people have what they need?
Well, there are collection drives going on now throughout the country for the refugees from the communities that were destroyed around Gaza that have been evacuated, and they've lost everything. So those are volunteer drives. The IDF says that they have everything that they want, but or everything that they need, but people are still providing extra protective gear that they have in case they turn out to have a shortage at any time. But we seem fairly well equipped. The things that we mainly need in our communities are more rifles. There's been a lot of talk about Hamas has been inciting, calling for the Arabs of Israel and for the Arab Israeli citizens, and also for the Palestinians in Judea and Samaria to attack the Jews and to invade along the lines of what they did in southern Israel, Jewish communities here. So you have, like where I live, all the entrances are sandbagged and everything is sort of ready for that. But, I think the army is at least they're very aware of what's happening now. Nobody's going to be taken by surprise. And I think that if anybody tries that sort of thing, they'll be taken by surprise by the response. But, the civilian civil guards probably could use some more rifles. But aside from that, and that's only in some communities. But we're doing well, and a lot of people are carrying. I know we are.
Absolutely. Shahar Azani also with us as well. Shahar, I wanted to talk to you about Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Moments ago, we have this live shot. Moments ago here, he spoke with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, he will be addressing the public again today in a moment in a show of support for Israel, that we stand behind you, we have your back. Again, talking of carriers sent into the Eastern Mediterranean, of munitions, the replenishment of the Iron Dome, et cetera, things that are needed. Shahar, what do you hope to hear from the Secretary of State as it represents Israel's strongest ally?
I think the main message that needs to come out, and it has been coming out, that this is not just another Israel versus Hamas. This is the humanity, civilization versus barbarism. This battle is the world's battle. And for us, for instance, to us, Hamas is the ultimate manifestation of Nazism. We've seen the horrible images that are coming out of the South, just like a reporter just reported, the burnt babies. These are values that contradict the moral foundations of what we should stand for as humanity at this point. And I have to tell you, I'm looking at the feeble statements, if at all, that come from elite colleges in the US, when Cornell states that there are too many tragedies in the world for them to respond, and Stanford don't want to get into complex political issues. If we want our children to learn anything on college campus, is to have the moral backbone. And I do hope that the incredible massacre, the terrible catastrophe that took place in Israel must resonate here in the United States of America, where steps must be taken. No longer can quiet be allowed, because I have to tell you, for us Israelis, we've always known that Hamas is Nazi and that's what they want to do to us. But for some reason, I don't know why, maybe we had a hope, maybe we thought that maybe it's possible to contend with them, that if we allow them to live, that they're like us. We made a huge mistake to understand who they are, because when somebody is telling you who they are, believe them. So when we're talking about college campuses here, when we're seeing demonstrators in Times Square promoting Nazi symbols, supporting a Nazi organization, there can't be any tolerance.
Yeah, again, we've seen excuse me, we've seen several groups burning Israeli flags. We've seen a lot of show of support for, again, what Hamas has done. Unfortunately, you mentioned specifically some of those radical groups there in Harvard University. There are so many, there's so much divisiveness, quite frankly, on this topic, and really there should not be. When you've seen what Hamas has done to these innocent civilians in Israel. Out of time, Caroline.
Don, it's like what happened to us, how difficult it is to say this is evil.
We understand. We definitely do. Shahar Azani, Caroline Glick, thank you for your time, and best to you all.
Thank you.
All right, we're following developments here again out of Gaza City. Again, you've seen the rubble of what this city continues to turn into, and also we are awaiting that press conference or briefing rather